Okay, today's recipe, we're going to make a strawberry cream cake from scratch. Okay, the first step, we're going to take our cake flour, our salt, baking soda, and baking powder and combine it in the bowl, mix till it is well combined. Alright, in our mixing bowl, we're going to add 2.5 cups of cake flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 2 teaspoons baking powder. We're going to combine till all ingredients are incorporated. Alright, the next step, we're going to cream our butter and our sugar in our stand mixer. You will add 1.5 cups of regular sugar, 12 tablespoons of room temperature softened butter. Alright, we're going to cream this for a couple of minutes. Alright, now that our butter and sugar is creamed together, we're going to stop it. Now we're going to add our 5 egg whites that are at room temperature. Mixing it again at medium speed for a couple of minutes. Now that the egg whites are incorporated, we are going to add 1.25 cups of room temperature milk, as well as 1 tablespoon of clear vanilla extract. We're going to continue mixing it at medium speed until well combined. Alright, now that all the wet ingredients are combined, we turn the mixer off and we're going to start slowly adding the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Do this in stages. Alright, we're going to add a couple of scoops of our dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, and we're going to start this on slow so we don't throw it all over the kitchen. After each time, don't forget to take your spatula and scrape the sides of the bowl so it can all be combined. And we're going to add 2 more scoops of our dry ingredients, which will be the rest of our dry ingredients. We're going to continue mixing this until both ingredients are well combined. Alright, now that it's combined, we're going to scrape down the side of the bowl one last time, and then we'll give it one last mix. Just saying, we're going to slide down. Right, we're going to scrape down the side of the bowl to make sure all the dry ingredients are combining with the wet ingredients. We're going to mix this for another minute, and then we'll move on to our baking pan. Alright, now that our cakes have come out of the oven, we're going to let them sit until they're room temperature, and we're going to cut the tops of them to make them flat. Alright, now that our cakes are cooled, we're going to cut the tops of them off to make them level. I already have these 3 cut. And all you do is get a knife that is long enough to go all the way across the pan. And then you just make sure you don't cut yourself. And cut so the cake is even all the way through. Set this piece aside. And now we have a flat cake. So whenever we stack this and make a 4-layer dessert, it will lay flat. Alright, now that all the tops of the cakes have been cut off, the cakes are all 4 level pieces to make the layers. A little secret that you can do to make your cakes moist and have a lot of flavor is to make up what is called a simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar and water. Bring it to a boil, let it dissolve, let it cool down to room temperature. I add a tablespoon of vanilla to it to give it a vanilla flavor. And you're going to take that with a pastry brush or a silicone brush, and you're going to paint where you've cut at. And what this does is this sugar water will seep into the cake and make it nice and moist and have a better flavor when you go to make it. Up next is we're going to make up the strawberry cream cheese icing, and then we'll put the cake together. Alright, to make our strawberry cream cheese icing, we're going to add 12 ounces of cream cheese and 4 ounces or 1 stick of butter to our mixer. We're going to mix this until it's thoroughly combined. Alright, once it is thoroughly combined, we are going to scrape down the side of the bowl, and we're going to start adding 3.5 cups of powdered sugar slowly in order to combine it. Alright, we're going to add our first scoop of powdered sugar. And when you turn this on, turn it on low. If not, you will wear it. We'll mix this till it's combined, and we'll keep adding our powdered sugar until we have 3.5 cups in our mixture. Alright, now that all of our powdered sugar is combined, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of heavy cream to thin it out. We're going to continue to mix this for a couple of minutes until it is thoroughly combined. Alright, now that our cream is in, we're going to take the beater off, clean as much of the cream cheese icing off as possible, set this to the side, and we're now going to take 1 cup of diced up strawberries, and we're going to add it to the bowl using a rubber spatula. We're going to fold the strawberry mixture into the icing until it's thoroughly combined. And that's it. There's our... Alright, now we have all of our components. We have fresh cut strawberries, we have our strawberry cream cheese icing, and we have our cake pieces. What we're going to do to layer these, we're going to put some of the icing on this part of the cake. We're going to move it in, followed by some strawberries, then the next layer, and we're going to do that 4 different times. Alright, that's the first layer of icing. We're going to come back with some sliced strawberries. We're going to put in the middle. Then we're going to take the next cake, add it on top, press it down. Very important that you make sure your cakes are completely cool. If not, you run the chance of melting your icing and making a mess. Alright, now that we have all 4 layers iced in between, when you do your top layer, make sure you flip it upside down so you get this pretty color on the top. We're going to refrigerate this for 10 minutes, and then we're going to put the crumb coating on it, which is a thin layer of icing on the outside, and then we'll build it up from there. Alright guys, this is what the finished product should look like. Put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour or overnight before you start slicing it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This was a strawberry cream cake. Let me know what you think.